This is Lesson 3 on page 53, Collaborating on Documents.
In this lesson, you will prepare a document for collaboration, mark up a document, review track changes, and compare document changes. For many of the Word documents you create, you may be the only person making changes to the document. Other times, you will need to work in a collaborative environment where others will provide feedback and document changes. In this lesson, you will use Word features that make this shared work much more efficient. So topic A is preparing a document for collaboration. You've created a document and you want to solicit feedback and revisions from your colleagues. Doing this requires that you have a way to share copies of the document with other users, keep track of their revisions and comments as they add them to their copy of the document, and merge their revisions into your original copy of the document. So first, before we get into tracking changes and collaborating on documents, we're going to take a look at user information and document properties. So first, in my example document, if I go to File and Options, and in my Word Options dialog box on the General tab, here in your Personalize Your Copy of Microsoft Office section, you have Username and Initials. This username property is applied to every document that you create on your specific computer. When you set up your computer or switch to a new computer, it's always a good idea to update the username and initials properties stored in Microsoft Office. This information is especially useful when you share documents with other users. If you are logged into a Microsoft account, your username will be used as the document creator or editor and in change tracking notes. You can tell if you are logged into a Microsoft account because your username appears in the top right corner of your application window. If you're not signed into a Microsoft account, you will have a sign in link there. Don't worry, you don't have to sign into a Microsoft account. But in our first activity, you will be entering a username and initials for yourself here. Okay, these are also used in PowerPoint and Excel as well. All right, so that's your user information. Also, we have document properties. If I select my File tab and from my Info tab, here we have a list of properties. We have the size of the document, how many pages, words, total editing time that it took to create. You can add a title property. Maybe I add the title of Chapter 3. Just click into it, type it, and then click anywhere out, and it will save that. And then your tags and comments. These document properties are also known as metadata. These are key details about a document that are saved with the file. Some properties are editable, such as subject and comments, or such as title that I just edited, tags, comments. Some are not editable. You can see I cannot click in the total editing time or the amount of words. That's automatically created by Microsoft Word for us. So we can add custom properties here. These are just some that are shown. If I click on Show All Properties, you can see I have the tags, comments. I also have the template that it was created from. I can add a status property, categories, subject, hyperlink, company. Down at the bottom, it has related dates. This is the date that this document was last saved. Just goes to show that I haven't saved it since I first created it back in March. But if I went and hit my save button, you can see now last modified today, 3:06 p.m. when I'm editing this. The created will always stay the date that the document was first created. The author is whoever initially created the document, and last modified by is the person who last saved the document, because, Billy Bob could have created it, sent it to me, and then I could have made changes to it and saved it. So Billy Bob would have been the author, and I would have been the last modified by. So you can edit those properties right in our Info tab of our Backstage view, Or you can also go to your properties drop down and select advanced properties. And on the summary tab of your properties dialog box, we have those same properties here as well. Title, subject, author, manager, company, and so on and so forth. So you can enter them here. Now, what are these document properties for? It's a good way to actually search your computer or different or specific drives in your computer for, let's say, keywords. Let's say I had a keyword of collaboration. Let me make sure I spell this right. Collaboration. Okay. So I have a keyword of collaboration. I click OK. I'm going to save this and I'm going to close it out. Now, if I go into my File Explorer down on my taskbar, and I want to search my home drive for any documents that I have that, have a keyword of collaboration. You can search your whole computer by selecting this PC, or you can narrow down your search. Sometimes searching the whole entire computer takes a while. So what I did, I hit this PC and then I opened up my home drive. I can just specifically search my home drive. I would go up to the search box in the top right hand corner, tags, : that means I'm searching for that, collaboration. And look what comes up. My Chapter 3 original example document. I can right-click on this document, and I can view the properties of this from here as well. The name of the file, size, the created on date, last modified, even the last time it was opened up. On the Details tab, the title that I entered for it. If I entered a subject, category, comments, you can see the tags of collaboration. Authors, last saved by. So I can see all that information without even opening up the file. If I can just find it by searching for it from a specific document property, I can get all of that information. So all of this is known as metadata. And I always tell people, be careful about sending documents out with all of this information saved on it. Let's say, I don't know, you're putting your resume out there, just for instance. All of this information is accessible by whoever you send the document to. So if, your third cousin created your resume for you, they're going to be able to see that, whoever was signed in to Microsoft Word or whatever program that you use to create it, they're going to be able to see that metadata. So there is a way to clear that. If I was to open up the document, go to File, check for Issues, and Inspect Document, I can just check for document properties and personal information. Make sure that's checked off and click Inspect. You can see it did find some document properties and the author. I can choose to remove all of that, reinspect it just to be on the safe side. It's no longer found. Close that out. Now, if I save it, I'm going to close it and reopen it. I no longer have a title property. It no longer shows the author or the last modify. It's telling me it was created today and last modified today as well. If I go into the advanced properties, everything is wiped out here. So it's been cleared of everything. Doesn't tell me who created it, what was done, nothing. So before you send out personal documents, especially on the web, it's always a good idea to inspect them for those document properties, that personal information or metadata that you might have saved onto it. All right, so you'll practice this out in the first activity for lesson 3.
That's activity 3.1 on page 59, configuring your user information.